to recap the whole West Coast trip.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Shamrock Talk, the internet's #1 mother-son Celtics podcast. I'm your host, Jake Olin, here once again with my mother, Karen Olin, along with our first guest, keep it in the family, my cousin, mom's nephew, Connor Surro.
Woohoo!
No, I was the first guest.
You're the first guest. Yeah.
It's an honor.
We're recording this the night, or I guess it's night for me. We're also in 3 different time zones. I'm in Buenos Aires, Argentina. It's currently 11:30 p.m. here. Mom is in the mothership. You're in Natick, or right?
Natick, yeah.
I assume you have to work.
10:30.
There, 10:30 there. Oh, it's only 10:30. Oh yeah, I forgot it switched. You're only an hour.
Oh,
10:30,
good.
and then Connor is in enemy territory, LA. So we got 3 time zones, and we're here to recap the West Coast trip. It's been pretty good for the Celtics, I would say so myself. Any opening thoughts? Let's start with you, Mom.
So the Warriors, we held them to 88 points. That's pretty impressive. My highs that game were Smart. I thought he played outstanding and brought energy from minute 1, which, is expected in all games, but there have been a couple of games where our energy has been low. He was 8 for 12, 66% shooting, and 8 assists with the Warriors. So I just thought he was my high. My low for that game was Derek White's offense. I think he was 0 for 8 in 22 minutes.
That could be a theme for the whole.
And so I think he does other things well, but he was kind of my low. We were still trying to get some offense out of him, and he just wasn't playing well. Those are my highs and lows. Connor, anything you thought about the Warriors game?
Yeah, so it definitely changed when Curry got hurt, but even with him in, we were still holding them pretty low shooting, and they're still a good team. Like, they've had a ton of injuries, and still at the top of the West, but I just think all year the defense has just been locking everyone down, and at the beginning it was just we couldn't make a shot to save our lives, but now, like, Tatum, Brown, like, everyone can score now. So yeah, I think just picking up the offense has been huge because the defense always is there.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I didn't watch the game, so I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I saw the highlights, but
oh, you were flying.
But that's why we brought you in. Yeah. I flew in that day, and then it was a red eye overnight the night before, and the game doesn't start till 11 p.m. here, and I was dead. I was exhausted. So yeah, did not watch. I'll take your word for it.
I think they pretty handily won the game. Even like you said, when Steph was in, he only played 14 minutes.
Yeah, most of what I heard about was the controversial play.
Which wasn't really no, it was not. Yeah, I think that was just Kerr being angry that his star player got hurt. But if you watch it, they didn't even really in the game itself until they found out Steph Curry was hurt. They didn't really even the announcers didn't talk about it that much. It really wasn't. They didn't blame Smart. They mentioned Curry yelling at him, but nobody was really focused on it until you found out he was hurt. But he didn't even know who it was. He just went for the ball. It was
no one's really blaming Smart for that. It was just, it's bad that happens, but I don't think anyone actually thought he was trying to hurt him. Yeah.
I just think Kerr, without him, there are no playoffs for that team.
Yeah.
But we led the whole way. I don't think Tatum and Brown, their defense was very good. I thought the Warriors defense, actually as a defensive team, was very, very good. Tatum and Brown shot 42% and Tatum was 37%. I thought they played pretty good defense. But our offense was very good. So, and obviously our defense was excellent because we held them to 88. So
yeah, I think they're under 40 at the half, which is crazy.
Yeah. Clay Thomas couldn't hit anything for a while there. I mean, he was that second half was Thompson, was so cold for a while, trying, but he couldn't carry the team.
He's had some struggles trying to come back. I think 2 years off, it's hard to get in the rhythm mid-year.
Yeah. That's all I have to say.
Move on to the next blowout. Another one. We played the very sorry Sacramento Kings. Was that Thursday night? I did watch this game. I guess I'll say my high first was 3-point shooting. I mean, and again, there's some real themes to this road trip that can kind of be sit throughout, but that, I mean, like, that was huge. Pritchard, it was his kind of one of his breakout games that he started to come on. And I mean, Tatum was 7 for 10 from 3, Brown 3 for, like, I don't know. We just, especially in the first, like, we just couldn't miss. It was like, it was over as soon as it started. It's hard to have lows, I guess.
That was a fun game. It was a fun game to watch for us anyway.
If we want to just hate on Derek White's 3-point shooting or shooting in general, I'll just say that's another low. Like,
that was my low.
You can't buy a bucket. You can't buy a 3. It's getting out of it.
He is a good passer. He's a good passer. He really is.
He does everything else well.
Strong passer, and his defense isn't bad, but his offense was they were
taking threes. Like, he doesn't have to. He's good inside. Don't try.
Yeah, he was.
But they just leave him open. He had it's like
31 minutes. 31 minutes he played that game, and he was 2 for 8. So he was offensively not a. Go ahead, Connor. You can talk next. Anything about that game stand out to you?
Definitely the Kings are one of the teams we really like to play against, because that other game was the one we won by like 50 points or something. They're just the team that, I don't know, they're kind of, I don't know where they're going to go, because they have some talent on that team. I think Fox wasn't playing, so they're already kind of guy. But the offense, Tatum especially, has just been unbelievable. Like, every game, it's just so easy for him to score.
Yeah.
And then, like, everyone else has been, like, pretty efficient. Like, Brown's up and down. Smart, I think it's been a lot better on both sides. And then you have, like, Allen Time Lord, who are just always, like, 4 for 6, 5 for 5. Like, not scoring a lot, but just so efficient.
Super consistent.
I don't think there's been that many I think the end of this game was the only negative from the past 2 weeks for me with this team. Just everything's clicking.
Yeah.
This game was really.
I'd agree. All right.
My high was Pritchard 5 for 5 in that game in 21 minutes, 8 assists. And Tatum and Brown. Tatum shot 75. 8 assists and still went 5 for 5. It's a small amount of time. And 5 rebounds. Tatum was 75% that game. Brown shot 61% that game. There are no complaints. My low is Derek White offensively. Passing, I think he does fine. And I just have to say that I love Sabonis. Like, I just think he's a great player. I hope he finds people around him, and I hope they turn it around. But I've always thought he was a great player. That's all I have to say.
20. Oh,
what?
Sabonis had 30 and 20.
He's and it's somewhat quiet. Like, I don't know. Like, I think he's an excellent. I think he's an excellent player. That's all I have to say. I think that was just a fun game to watch.
Blowout number 3.
Yeah. Oh, and passing was excellent in that game, and probably because they all had their points and were shooting well. Everybody was willing to pass, but passing was excellent.
We have blowout number 3. Celtics defeat the Nuggets 124-104. I mean, this one was like over as soon as it started. It was crazy. We just couldn't miss. It was like second quarter came. It was like I don't think we didn't miss a shot for like minutes. It's crazy.
I remember Tatum had that, I think it was this game, the buzzer beater at the end of the half. Or in the quarters
where it almost went in.
Out.
Yeah, where it like circled out.
Everything. Here now.
Yeah, and then he almost hit the half quarter.
Greg?
Oh, technical difficulties.
One back.
Oh, back.
Yeah,
could be
I'm all
internet
set
or
now.
something dropping.
I don't know. Well, no, I was hearing music for some reason. I was like, what is going on? Everything's turned off. Sorry, I missed that. Go ahead. Nuggets, any comments?
Yeah, I mean, just how incredible. I mean, like my high was just the second quarter. It was like we just did like we just blew them out the gate.
Yep.
And I guess low, it's hard to come up with a low. We were really, really good.
Derek White.
Oh no, Derek White again. Yeah,
he wasn't quite as bad, actually, but yeah.
I do have a low, and it kind of goes into this night. Why doesn't Ime play anybody but like the starting rotation guys? We're crushing them. We have a back-to-back tomorrow, and like with 4 minutes left, like Al Horford's in the game. It's like
Jason Tatum was still in the game.
Yes, like what?
Like, what? Yeah, of course. Then look at tonight.
Exactly. We're exhausted because these guys play all the time.
Yeah, I said the same thing.
Yeah, so that was my low.
That was my comment. Why is Jason Tatum still in the game?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pretty much do have like a 7-man rotation right now. It's like, I mean, maybe 8 if Tice plays, but it's like Grant, Pritchard, I guess White. But I mean, Pritchard just started playing well too. So I mean, there's maybe 8 guys that play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be 8 and then 9 if Tice Tice will get some like playoffs. It's going to be 8 and then 9. Tice will come in some games depending on matchups probably. Yeah. But it's really your bench is Williams, Pritchard, White, and then you have the starters.
Yeah.
But when we're crushing teams, like I just don't understand the refusal to play anybody else.
Yeah, I agree. And I will say in this Nuggets game, it bothered me. I mean, they were missing Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. too. I think they're obviously a better team than we saw today once they have all of their people. But what bothered me in the second half, and you said that, I have complained about Jason Tatum playing too many minutes when we're blowing people out, like that last round. I don't know. But so second half, I don't know if you guys remember this, fourth quarter, he had the subs in with Jason Tatum, and Jason Tatum gives Pritchard a bad pass. He's dribbling it up, which I hate when he does that, the slow up to the eyeballs dribble, which is not hard to, and so he gives a bad pass. He gets it stolen. He does the same pass. It's stolen. They go down and score again. And then he finally kind of gives up, gives it to Derek White. Derek White dribbles down, but then gives it to him, and he drives into 3 people, and it's an offensive foul. And they scored on all 3 of those kind of, mistakes. Calls a timeout, takes all the bench players and puts all the starters back in. Now, then they started shooting, a little better or whatever. But it was just kind of funny that those 3 plays, which Jason Tatum's originated, caused all the bench players to go back and sit down because he started panicking a little bit. But just funny. And I don't like it when he dribbles the ball up. Like, I just don't think our offense is as good when he dribbles the ball up. But that's my opinion. Highs and lows for that game. Really not a lot. We did well. I mean, I guess that was my low, that little stint there that caused all the bench players to go back. Yeah, I think wasn't that
Pritchard didn't miss a 3 for 2 straight games.
He was like, wasn't he
4
like
for 4 against the Kings and 5 for 5 against Denver.
Yeah. For not a lot of minutes. I mean, he's not in there very, very much. I think he's going to be a good role player. He's not going to play a lot of minutes, but imagine when Jason Tatum's double teamed against a really good defensive team, having somebody that can come in and,
I think his confidence is way higher too.
Yes.
Because
didn't play as well at times tonight. I will say, like, got stuck in the lane a couple times, and
he's gonna have defensive issues. He's just too small.
Yeah.
But when we first traded Schroeder, and I've talked about this a couple of times, because he had a bad kind of first game after that, and I was like, oh no, Ime's never gonna play him again, and he's continued to play him, and now it's paying dividends. And this gets back to those other guys that you want to develop, a Hauser who got some minutes tonight, or like you signed Nick Stauskas to a 2-year deal, and then even when we're blowing teams out, you're never gonna play him. Like, I don't understand the.
I don't get.
Yeah, I think there was that point when we still had Neesmith, I think, who's coming back soon, and like Pritchard and Neesmith were like splitting minutes, and like neither of them were really like separating. But now I feel like Pritchard is the guy. Like, I'd like to see Neesmith play, but not in the playoffs. Like, he's just not there.
Yeah, it's too late. It's too late to come back now. I mean, he'll get some minutes, but you can't trust him in a rotation if he's only going to come back and play the last 9 games.
He can't make shots. Like, he has a ton of energy, but like, he's just. I thought he was a good shooter, and he just can't even hit an open shot.
Yeah, isn't that what he was like known for coming out of college? Was like that's what I thought he was.
That's why that's what he was. Yeah. If I could take his length, he's a little bigger. Put his length with Pritchard's skills. That would be a good player.
Yeah, he's much more athletic than Pritchard, but he just doesn't have that shooting for him down. I don't know what his problem is.
Pritchard's length and lack of athleticism hurts defensively, unfortunately.
I don't think he's a liability though. Like, Isaiah Thomas kind of defensively was, but Pritchard can at least like hold his own.
Yeah, I agree. I think again, it's just rebounding once he does play defense, or those really tall people that he gets put on.
It's hard to play the switch everything scheme that we try to play if he's on there.
But most of the time, I agree. He plays good D.
He works hard, and he does. I mean, it's just
and he's smart. Really he knows where to be. Yeah, and he hustles.
All right. Well, that brings us to tonight, I guess. The blowout number 4, not blowout number 1. Whatever.
Wait, I had to tell you, I had a big note that said fourth quarter. This was the Nuggets. Fourth quarter. Why is Tatum in? 30 points, up 23. Sad face. That was my note. I'm like, why is he still in? Yeah. Put some new people in. Okay. OKC.
Yes. So tonight, 132-123 win over the Oklahoma City Thunder. The annual now, I guess, Scal Perk game. Which, Perk has grown on me. I didn't like him at first, but he's
fun.
It's good for a game like Oklahoma City where it's like, okay, whatever.
His food references.
Getting a ride with the officials.
Chicken,
I got a ride with the official. I told him I wouldn't say. That one was good. He's like, Tatum's in his bag, and I'm talking the waffle for us.
I saw this tweet during the game, and it was like, imagine someone that doesn't know the Celtics broadcast tuning into this game randomly and hearing these two talk. And it's just like Scal and Perks are just like in their own world over there.
Yes.
Especially when it's a blowout. They're just talking about whatever.
The number of times the camera goes to them.
Yeah.
While the play's going on, they show the two of them, and then they're painful. I think if it was a close game, you're right. They're painful together.
Oh yeah, you don't want them. You don't want them for any good game. But when you're blowing a team out for most of the game, it's fine.
Yeah, and I should have tallied every time they say next level. He is next level.
That's just Scal. Scal's just anytime Tatum does something. Next level.
Tonight, Jaylen Brown was next level a few times too. Next level. Elite. Which he is very good, but it's just so funny the number of times. Like, okay, add to your vocabulary now. Something else. Go ahead. What did you think about tonight's game?
I thought it was, great. Nothing. If we're gonna go high lows, my high was Grant Williams. I thought he's been a bit of a slump offensively, and I thought he kind of shook some of that off. Tonight, 20 points. They call him. Do we know why they call him Batman? I don't get this.
Apparently he wanted to be called Batman. Jaylen Brown was like, yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know if I'm a fan
He just
of Batman.
asked to be called Batman.
I think it was a joke. They were joking around.
I don't
Part
know.
of it was he doesn't have the athleticism and the skills that the Jays have, but he's got smarts and like other things that, you know, how Batman's not the most.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that was supposed to be. So that was kind of funny commentary.
But he's still
Yeah.
I saw it on like Twitter, but I don't know where it originated. That's funny.
Yeah.
It's like I remember back in the day, Glenn Davis didn't like being called Big Baby. So he suggested that him and Nate Robinson be called Shrek and Donkey. It never caught on.
Never took off. But it was funny for that one
nickname.
time. Yeah.
You get made fun of.
Yeah. Batman.
Yeah, Big Baby is too good to not use.
Yeah.
Did you see what game was it where he got caught like stealing seats? It was KG. No, it was before KG's retirement. It was the Nets game, wasn't it? It was the Nets
oh wait,
game.
and they made him move.
Well, they show him on the screen,
and
as they're showing him on TV, someone's like, "Hey, those are my seats,"
and he had to leave. Sorry. I did see that. Yeah.
On live TV, he got put on blast.
Yeah, that was I do remember that.
Yep.
That was funny.
Yeah, so where was he actually sitting? Like 2 rows behind, or?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, it was a couple. Yeah.
Who knows?
I saw this tweet
that's all. Go ahead.
I saw this tweet after the game where it said like, I don't know if it's true or not, but it said like he was on like parole or something, and like by being at the game, he like violated this.
Okay, so I knew that he was part of some like money laundering scheme or something. I thought like he was like going to jail for this. Yeah, so I think he is having also some legal issues. I don't know. It was like him and a bunch of other NBA players. It was like, I think it was like the retired NBA player fund. They were like faking injuries to get money from for their fake injuries or whatever. So
did he not make good money, or has he like gambled it away, or?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, or just wanted more, and it was.
Well, he did take someone else's seat.
Was that the game?
Was his not good? Yeah.
He was in the back.
Don't you know who I am? Well, I think that's all you need to know about this game. Is I mean, there's much more entertaining aspects other than the actual play.
The other thing I had to say about this game was I thought Derek White did better. I thought he driving and passing. I thought he was good. And then
still
my
1
low
for 5 from 3 though. That's big
he needs to stop shooting threes. I think his passing was excellent this game. And I thought he drove when he needed to drive and get fouls, and kind of when we needed him to. So I didn't think that was bad. But my low was the fourth quarter. Not only were they hitting threes, but they were going up the middle like there was no defense, which kind of scares me because this was another time when, remember Marcus Smart, I don't know what game was, but both Williams and Marcus Smart were out and we lost to a not so good team, and it was our defense. They kept going up the middle. But I just thought it looked too easy in the fourth quarter. Even as it got closer and closer, I was like, who's stepping in? Nobody's stepping in. I mean, they just went right up the middle. So that was a little, and nobody wants to get hurt during this game, but like they made it look very easy to go up the middle. That was a little bit.
But here's my argument again. You're at the end of a West Coast road trip on a back-to-back. Yeah. You're blowing a team out to start the quarter. Play the backups. They're gonna have energy. They haven't played.
Yes.
Tatum and Brown
should
are
have
exhausted.
Gone in so much earlier. So much.
When we're up 20, they should have gone in.
Agreed. Because you can always put them back in. I agree.
And then Perk and Scal are talking like, "Oh, Ime is going to be mad at this one." It's like the players are exhausted, and there was
8 people played in this game. 8 the whole game for the Celtics. 8.
I knew, and we got some Hauser minutes. We can talk about that later.
He was one of the 8.
Yeah, but I knew that they were exhausted and they just didn't want to be there anymore. When Jaylen Brown had like the he had like it was a fast break and it was like just him. He had like one guy kind of on him and he tries to throw that like no look behind the back to Tatum and it like didn't work at all. Like they were just like having fun, like they're up 20, they were tired and they didn't want to be there and they wanted to go home. Like that's why there was like it was like a defensive collapse at the end. Like why not put in Stauskas and Cornette and like worst case you have to put Tatum back in and all the starters back in and now they're fresh and then they close the game anyway.
Do you have the box score? How many minutes did Tatum play?
39.
Like what?
A back-to-back on the end of a road trip. Up 20 most of the game.
Yeah. So he was in for quite a long time with the bench players and Grant Williams forever. And I just kept thinking, like, is he even going to put Brown in place of him? Or so I get wanting to keep somebody in, but he was in forever. It's like, I don't know. And again, near the end, hey, they started to catch up. You put your, starters back in. I get that whole thing, but I agree from the very beginning.
Neesmith available?
It says do not play. He was on the
decision. Yeah.
But
I don't know. I didn't know he was available if he was.
But yeah, I will say the starters played a lot of minutes this game. More minutes than they probably should have.
We were up 20 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And Nick Stauskas, you sign him to a 2-year deal. It's not like a 10-day. Like I know it's you could cut him next year. It's whatever. But like, if you sign him to be part of your team, why? Like what? What are you gonna? Why is he not playing?
They scored 40 in the fourth. The Thunder scored 40 in the fourth. I think our defensive rating went down a little after this game. Not sure, but
I think we're okay in that department.
Not a pretty defensive game.
Yeah, I think this just shows how good Robert Williams is, though, because he's like the anchor of this defense. Like,
100%.
You can get by the first guy, but then he just stops you at the rim every time.
I agree, 100%. He is my most improved player this year. He and Grant Williams
easily
is right behind him. Grant Williams, would you have ever expected last year that he would be this player? No.
Grant Williams was locking down Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, however you pronounce his name, SGA. Locking him down in the first quarter. Like I couldn't even believe it. Like he was so frustrated asking for fouls and didn't get it. Grant Williams it was crazy.
The thing I love about Grant is how like perfectly he plays defense. Like
straight
up,
with his arms out. I agree.
Like, fundamentally,
he's got that slight little belly that kind of touches you all the time, right? Never has to use, but his body's on you the whole time.
100%.
The legs, No, he's done a good job this year. He's done a good job, though.
I don't think he's top of the league from 3-point percentage anymore, which is unfortunate.
No, I don't.
He was number 2 at one point.
I know he got.
We just need him to hang on and do well. And do well in playoffs. All right. Any big questions about what's coming up for you?
Yeah. Up next. The standings are close. Are we going to end up with the dreaded Nets first round matchup is the question.
Well, I was going to ask that.
Up to 2.
What team is it? The Nets for you? What team do you really think we'd have the most difficult time beating in 7?
It's got to be the Nets, right?
I think the Nets.
Out of anyone? I don't know. It's still
East Coast. East.
In the East.
Yeah.
The Bucks are up there. I feel like we just play the Bucks harder.
I know. I do feel like we play them harder.
Yeah.
Sixers, same thing.
Weirdly good on Giannis.
Yeah.
And but if Kevin Durant's playing full, he had 37, I think, tonight.
Yeah.
The Bucks are tough though.
Is Kyrie still going to miss half the games though? Because
that would be a plus.
I mean, most likely.
But I think that they're thinking by that time it could be pulled. So that's the tricky part.
I don't think so. I don't think it will be.
So if they don't, then I would take the Nets. If Kyrie wasn't playing and you throw Ben Simmons in there, I don't know. I don't think they could do it.
Ben Simmons playing this year? What is going on?
Anytime. He hurt his back going up the stairs.
Doing what? Yeah.
Going up the stairs.
I don't understand him. He was choosing not to play for months and now he's not ready to go. It's like you're wasting years of your career.
Yeah.
He's already had injuries.
Yes.
Yep. I don't know what's going on there. I don't think he'll be able to add much, especially in the playoffs. I'm not
So if there's no Kyrie for half the games, you'd still choose the Nets. You'd choose the Nets.
Part of it for me is just like, I'd be so mad if we lost to the Nets.
After this,
like Bucks, Giannis is likable. Like, okay, like I'd be annoyed obviously if we lost it all, but if we lose to the Nets, especially if we get matched up with them in the first round, I'm just gonna be like seething. Like,
what about Miami? Think we could beat Miami?
I think they're beatable.
Best out of 7.
I think it'd be easy. I'm not gonna pick us, but I think.
Yeah. I fear the most a healthy Nets.
Yeah, when we did the predictions post All-Star break, I predicted Bucks to come out of the East, but yeah, I would just be so seething if we lost to the Nets.
What's your prediction, Connor?
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, for me, I'd say the Bucks are the ones I want to avoid the most, just because like they have everything together. I feel like they're the kind of team that's like waiting for the playoffs to like really click.
Yeah.
And
they do have a lot.
The Nets and the Sixers are kind of tough to rank because I feel like the Sixers like have the weirdest games. Like they get crushed one day and then like look unstoppable. But I just like I wouldn't want to play the Sixers just because of how the refs are going to be. Like Embiid is my least favorite player to play against because he just like the flopping is unbearable.
Yes.
Harden's on that team.
Agreed. Now more flopping.
Yeah, I'd rather play the Nets than the Sixers just because of that, honestly.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think ideally I'd like to play either Chicago or Cleveland round 1, and then hopefully get Miami round 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we could, I mean, so I guess who would you rather play then? Because now I looked at the standings today. I think Toronto's 1 game from the 6th seed now. So would you rather play Cleveland or Toronto?
Probably Cleveland.
I think I agree with that too.
I just don't think they have the guy. Like, they're such a young team.
They're too young. They have no playoff experience. Yeah, they're the team. They're already kind of on the downhill right now. They overachieved the first half of the year. Yeah. I think they're the team to get to.
How can if we can't beat any of those, like any of the like Chicago, Cleveland, or Toronto, like we're not going to beat anyone. So we have to be able to like take on those 3. I'd say win in at least 6 or 5, because I mean it only gets harder after those 3.
Yeah, I mean once you get to the second round, I don't know. I think for me, Nets and Bucks are definitely top 2 in terms of
like, don't want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see us beating either the Sixers or the Heat. They just don't have the star power of the Nets.
I agree with Connor. I don't like their kind of game, but
yeah,
I think out of 7 we
could
them.
win that. Yeah, I think we could win that series.
Yeah,
again, there's a lot of question marks. How well will Harden play? How well can they get a continuity with like 10 or something games left?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's close.
I fear a healthy Nets, and I fear if Kyrie gets to play all the games. Yes, Jesus. I agree. I think they could be a suddenly good team. But with Kyrie out half, I think it's much harder. Coming back and forth, playing and not playing, and I don't think they have a chance.
It'd be weird. I don't think like that's ever happened before. Yeah. Players playing in a 7-game series, not playing the home games.
It's such a dumb thing though, because like he's allowed to be there, he just can't play.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like who are you helping?
Fine for being in the locker room.
It's
completely
like,
crazy.
You can stand there.
Yeah, can't put on the uniform.
All right. Out of the West, who do you think's gonna win?
That's a tough one because the Suns have been dominating.
Wide open.
I think they're gonna win. They're my pick. Like, they're unbelievable. Yeah, I think they're 9 games ahead of everybody right now. They've won their last 5. Yeah. I just think barring any injuries, I don't know who's stopping them for 7.
If Curry's not going to come back, and it sounds
3
like
weeks,
he might be out at least till the playoffs. Yeah.
That's why.
And who knows at that point if he's even 100%.
Yeah.
Who else would I even like in the West?
Yeah, I mean, you have Utah, who's like, I don't know, they still feel like they're a piece away.
Yeah, we'll see them Wednesday.
Dallas.
Yeah, these next few games are going to be hard. I'm excited for Dallas, the Miami one because I think that's going to be a telltale. How we play Miami is going to be.
That is interesting.
We play Miami now. Full. Yeah, so that's going to be.
I guess I would take the Suns too.
Yeah, I just feel like they're the only team that's been consistent all year. Like and they've had injuries, which is like unbelievable. Like there's a period when Paul and Booker were out, and they're still winning. It's like half.
Yeah.
You have Ayton who's getting better, and like I don't know, it just doesn't seem like they're deep enough to be this good. But something is working.
Yeah, I'll take the Suns, but I'm not confident about that. I think anyone could come out of the West, honestly.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
The Lakers.
I'm just glad we're playing well and we're in the conversation, right? Because it didn't look like that early on.
Yeah, I was almost ready to give up on this year, and then it just something turned around. And I mean, you have to give us at least some finals consideration now.
Ime started listening to Shamrock Talk. Only explanation. We start
Creed,
the podcast.
Pritchard.
Yeah, everything we say, we're like, Tatum needs to be a better passer and pass out of double teams. Immediately, it just happens.
Yeah.
Like,
someone's got to be listening.
Free Coach, Pritchard. They trade
assistant coach has to be listening. Yeah.
Pritchard is playing.
Yeah.
Everything we say just comes to fruition.
You know what I think the biggest difference was? Smart coming back, and he just I don't know. There's something about him when he came back from his injury that really fired everybody up. He was fired up, and I think that kind of turned. That and Rob Williams, I even think he's just getting better and better and better. And they are learning how to pass to him and use him as an offensive weapon. I mean, I think you're going to see more and more of that. I mean, he's so quick. He's so fast getting that pass. It could be a bad pass and it still looks like a good pass. Sometimes you wonder, was that a good pass? But he grabs it from the air and puts it. Yeah, he's amazing. I thought he was excellent. I thought he was one of the reasons Jokic was not so good. Like he was right there. I don't think I've ever seen him blocked that many times. I thought he was excellent. So I think he and Smart are a big piece. They need to be healthy. I'm hoping this was just a rest and a small, timeout for them and nothing, Yeah,
that's always been Time Lord's issue is he looks so promising, then he jumps too high, hurts himself, and then he's out for another month.
Yeah.
It's just hard to he's only 24 still. He's barely played a full season. So
this year so far has been the best, I think. So I'm hoping.
Absolutely. It's leaps and bounds.
Finally getting to play.
Yes.
Yeah, he doesn't foul every 30 seconds now. His first year is like.
I thought for sure that was not going anywhere. I was like,
he was like a new puppy running around, jumping on people.
Every pump fake, he'd be in the air. Then sometimes he can still recover, but it's gotten so much better at just the instincts and actually moving.
And I think with he and Al together, we have kind of a piece of both: old school Lane and the blocks. I mean,
next year he'll be able to guard Luka, not this year.
Yeah, that was not good. Watching those two was not good. Yeah.
All right. So coming up, we got Wednesday, Utah, Sunday versus Minnesota, who's having a sneaky good year too.
Yeah, they're really good.
And then next Monday at Toronto. Those are our next three.
And then the Heat. It's like Wednesday, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean. Minnesota, I wonder what the odds are. That I would be interesting to put a couple bucks on Minnesota to come out of the West. I think they're underrated. I think they've been streaking lately and
coming out of the West. Did you say?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that's not my official prediction, but I'd say if I was a betting man, I mean, I'd have to look at let's look it up. Odds Western Conference.
The odds for I'm up late.
You're up late. It's past midnight here. I'm on Tuesday.
Only 8 o'clock.
Okay. Why can't I find a good answer here? All right, it doesn't matter. Maybe we can figure it out.
We can talk about it next time.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. I honestly don't know a lot about Utah this year. I feel like they're the same team they've always been, minus Joe Ingles.
I just don't think they got any better. Like Mitchell's pretty much the same guy. Gobert is still the same, like good defender. They have a good bench. It's
Conley's, Nothing new, I don't think.
I'd say the Warriors getting healthy was the one thing that, like, in the West could have changed everything. But, like, I think that game against us when Curry got hurt was the first time all three had played together for the Warriors.
That was.
Yeah, Draymond was hurt.
Yeah.
So it's just hard
to get that. He looked a little sluggish before he went out. I didn't think Steph Curry looked like himself, like running. I don't know. I thought he looked either a little lame or not himself even before he went out of the game. I don't know. But
I was about to say Minnesota's on a 4-game win streak coming into this game. And they've beaten both the Heat and the Bucks, but they're down 10 or down 3 right now to the Mavs with 5 seconds. So it looks like they'll lose that.
The Mavs have been winning a lot of close games recently. They had that buzzer beater against the Nets, the 3 against us.
Yeah, I know. Spencer Dinwiddie coming alive.
I hate Spencer Dinwiddie. You put 3 against him.
Yeah. Wanted to get he was a Bitcoin guy. I wanted a salary in Bitcoin.
Really?
When the bubble hit, he wanted it, and they had like the slogans. You could put like the slogans on your jersey. He wanted to put billions on the back to bring awareness to the national debt.
Billions. That they said no, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. It's getting close. It's probably gonna stay close.
I'm excited to see some good games, some close games that we win. I'm just gonna put that out there. I think we really need a few close games that we win. That fourth quarter of a close game against a good team.
Yeah, so it's possible that a Miami game could be for the 1 seed if we can like win probably the rest of our games.
We win out and they lose out or something.
Possible.
Wait, so did I look? They've been winning though, right? I think everybody ahead of us has been. Oh no, Miami lost their last.
Miami lost today to the Sixers without Harden and Embiid.
Oh wow.
And they were at full strength.
Oh,
Maxey had 28. But yeah, so we'll see. Shake Milton had 20.
Well, we've won 4 in a row too, so
yeah, we're streaking as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is this, like 2 out of 20 now? Something like that.
Yeah. I'll have to do the calculation, but our record since the inception of Shamrock Talk is insane. It's like 20.
It is
23-3.
We started right at the turn. We like to take credit, Connor. We like to take credit. We think Ime's listening.
Definitely listening. It's too much of a coincidence.
It is. Yeah. Everything we predicted.
Before he goes into those pregame Scal interviews, he's got his AirPods. He's like, oh, it's just listening to Shamrock Talk shit.
We have to do this now. All right. Well, good talk.
Yeah. I think we can wrap things up.
Yep. Connor, amazing to see you. We'll have to do this again.
Yeah, we'll get you back on.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for years. It was Jake. Jake got it together.
Had to kickstart it. Well, you can find us on yeah, we'll do a finals cast when we're in the finals against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I'll be like, I should have put money on.
Oh, you're calling the Timberwolves? That's a bold prediction. I told you about the TNT bold predictions that weren't bold.
Yeah.
just before the it's like the silliest things, but just before the NCAA tournament started, it was the last time the four of them were going to be together. Shaq, Charles Barkley, and the other two. Anyway, they were all they have a wall of their predictions and stuff, and they were making bold predictions. And literally, Charles Barkley had his glasses on, staring at papers for like 2 minutes. And the other three are like waiting for him to come up with a bold prediction. And he said, the Nets are going to win the play-in game, and then they're going to win the first series. That was his bold prediction. I was like, that's a bold. And one of the other guys said that's your bold prediction. It was very, very funny. But the other ones were no better. It was, similar. Nobody was really making a bold prediction. But it was kind of funny. So my bold prediction is Celtics Suns in the finals.
Celtics Suns. That is bold.
That's bold. Suns, not so much. Celtics, bold.
Celtics. Still pretty bold, although I mean the way we're playing lately.
Yep.
Who knows?
That's
I think we were the betting favorites for a while out of the East.
Maybe we're the analytics favorites. I don't know why. Every algorithm has us at the top.
Yeah.
The Raptor. I still don't know what the Raptor is.
Oh yeah, that one you sent me. All right.
All right. Well, you can find us on all platforms. We're on Instagram at Shamrock Talk, Twitter at Shamrock Talk Pod, Facebook, YouTube, Shamrock Talk. We're worldwide, international, across 3 time zones, international borders. You can catch me at Mr. Caniac on all platforms. Connor, do you have anything to plug? What are your ads?
You can follow my Instagram, the Connor Surro, Connor Surro. That's pretty much it for me.
Mom doesn't have any social medias, so
I do, but I haven't really sent it out to all my followers yet. I usually just follow you if they're listening. All right.
We'll see you next time.